Welcome back to Fast Money. One of Wall Street's most successful hedge fund managers sending a giant shockwave across the cryptocurrency market today. Paul Tudor Jones reportedly buying Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. Jones comparing the cryptocurrency to the gold trade back in the 1970s, calling it the fastest horse in this environment. Let's break this bombshell down with our own Bitcoin baller, Brian Kelly. BK, I know crypto Twitter was just on fire today with this.
More so than ever. Crypto Twitter is a funny place, but yeah, I mean, certainly having somebody of Paul Tudor Jones' pedigree and caliber come in and kind of put their stamp of approval on this asset class got everybody really excited.
When making the comparison to gold back in the 1970s, I mean, if you follow the evolution of gold, and Guy probably knows this better than I do, but at one point in time, you're buying gold and the ETF didn't exist. When the ETF existed, it became much more accessible to a lot of different investors, and it sort of it democratized it and also took away that sort of bang for your buck when it comes to the movement of gold because there wasn't scarcity involved with it. Can you see the same thing happening with Bitcoin, especially as there's talks about ETFs as this continues to go mainstream? I mean, if this is truly sort of a flag being planted in mainstream investment, the next step could, in fact, be ETFs.
I mean, it could be. We haven't seen it yet. I think we're a long way away from an ETF based on what the SEC has said. So at this point in time, it's much more of an institutional, well, actually retail can get into it fairly easily, but you're buying the spot market. And I think when you look back at the gold market in the 70s, that's when gold was no longer pegged, right? So that was kind of the first real market, speculative market that you had. And that's a lot like what Bitcoin is right now. You didn't have all the derivatives, you didn't have the options, you didn't have the ETFs that might tamp down that volatility. That's the same case here in Bitcoin. And when you look at Bitcoin, at least when I look at Bitcoin on a risk reward basis, let's say you buy gold on the idea that inflation is coming and it doubles, you're going to be happy. Nobody's going to be upset at a double in an investment. But if you look at the volatility of Bitcoin, where it's gone and where it could go, a 5 or 10x in Bitcoin would not be inconceivable in this environment.
Brian, big fan of your work. A lot of people think the gold Bitcoin is binary. You have to own one or the other. They both can't work. Do you think in this environment both can do well?
Sure, it's the same thesis. It's the idea that you have, you need a capped security or a capped supply. And so whether it's gold or whether it's Bitcoin, I happen to think Bitcoin has a much higher upside, a better risk to reward, but the thesis is very similar. The only other thing I would say about Bitcoin is that's different than gold, it's a lot more mobile, right? We've seen the issues we've had over the last weeks where gold prices disengaged from futures, spot gold, because they couldn't get gold bars from London to New York to settle. You don't have that issue with Bitcoin. This is internet money. You just send it right over and settle it. So in that sense, I think Bitcoin has a bigger role to play in this environment than gold does.
All right. BK, great to see you.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe. If you do like what you're listening to, please inform your friends and family. It's a very imperative time we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works because we don't fall for the same tricks. Now, I want to thank those who bought the books. Crypto Teacher and WO book. Also, much love. I got a whole bunch of love for the Patreon and Cash App. Much love to you. Now, guys, we're going to get into Bitcoin. As we know, it's been a wild ride yesterday. Basically, I did a video a couple of days ago. I said CNBC has it. That means that we're normally going to dump. And that's exactly what happened. So the fact is that they're selling you on how great Bitcoin is, and of course, they're ready to sell. So, guys, we know the game is rigged. If you watch this channel, we know the game is rigged. If you go on Twitter, all these other sites, they're surprised. You should not be surprised. The game is rigged. We knew that basically it was going to be a sell-off. Only thing you had to do was look at the stable coins. The stable coins, I think yesterday may have went under 99, maybe 30 to 40 minutes. The rest of the day, it was above $1, so we knew it was going to take that leg lower. Now, for it to happen in 7 to 30 minutes, $1,000, we don't know exactly the amount that it's going to go down, or how fast it's going to go down, but we knew that we were going to go down just because of the stable coins. So guys, stick to the fundamentals. The stable coins are going to tell you where the market is going because that's the liquidity. They put it in, they take it out. So I just need to make sure you understand that. Stay focused on these stable coins. Look at the volume, look at the stable coins. Now, basically with the actual wild ride that we had, we have BOC coming up. So that means that we're going to head a leg lower due to BOC. Once BOC is up, we will head higher. Then we have CME and BitMEX. It's the same routine every month, guys. So just make sure that we understand that. Now, this weekend was different. Of course, institutional investors normally come in. We normally see stable coins drop below $1, and then we go up. We'll also see trading volume went up like it did, but of course they sold. So we know that BOC and institutional investors were in. So of course that selling pressure, and you could see it for like 7 minutes, that selling pressure was out of this world. So we know that the whales were in there handling business. The house always wins. We know this is rigged. With Bitcoin, that's why I tell you, do not trade Bitcoin. You trade the other altcoins. But Bitcoin is something that you hodl, you hold. Of course, it's so expensive. Not too many people are trading Bitcoin anyway, just because of the amount expensive it is. But the fact is that Bitcoin shows you where the rest of the market is going. So the fact is, if you are trading XRP or VeChain, you can see where the market is headed. So just like I said, for those 7 to like 30 minutes, the volume was out of this world. If you're new to crypto, this may have shocked you. Of course, if you've been in crypto, we know we have these wild rides. The reason why is because, of course, institutional investors are making a lot of money. They get in, they get out. Now, another thing when it comes to Bitcoin right now, guys, Bitcoin and S&P is right now back on the same track. So when we see S&P go up, we're starting to see what? Liquidity come into Bitcoin. So it's back to the same routine. And especially because the Fed is going to be doing this $3 trillion. Of course, that $3 trillion is going to trickle over to crypto. So as we know, I said regulation is going to happen this summer going into fall. We have that Bitcoin ETF. We're going to ride up. So Bitcoin is something you want to buy and hold. It's not trade. It's too expensive unless you have that big bag where you can trade. Majority of people don't. So the fact is that you should be trading altcoins. Now, as we go towards the summer and fall, we're going to see all these garbage cryptos fall off. The only reason why Bitcoin is at the price it's at now, guys, I need for you to understand this. The only reason why it's not at 20, 30, 40,000 right now is because you have all these garbage coins taking away the liquidity. That's going to end this year. And you'll start seeing Bitcoin rise to the price that it should be at. So I just want you to make sure that. But that CNBC video is so funny. It's out of this world. Now, basically, we also have CNBC talking about it pays to be unemployed. Guys, we know it does not pay to be unemployed. That makes no sense. Of course, they're talking about, the unemployment check, you get paid more than what you're working. That makes no sense, guys. But the fact is, they definitely are going to be moving in universal basic income with these cryptos. It's the whole purpose. We have also big techs keeping people at home. So they're coming to the office where they have all this overhead for this real estate. That's the reason why they want people at home. This was all planned. If you read my NWO book, I had this in my book way before this. So basically, my book dates back to 2015. The part 2 dates back to 2017, 2016. But my first book was back in 2015, 2016. So I had that already in the book. And then also we have Space Force that ran a commercial that says the purpose of your life may not be on this planet. So guys, of course, I'm going to leave you with that to make you think. So we see where this is headed. We know for a fact nobody's going to space. We know for a fact nobody's going to the moon. My aunt retired from NASA. Guys, nobody's been to the moon. You have to get past that the radiation layer. And you're not getting past that. And we have von Braun, who was the great rocket master, who clearly said we can't get past the radiation belt. And he was the greatest rocket inventor during our time anyway. So the fact is that, guys, we're not going anywhere. This is the same thing as NASA. When they funded NASA, we didn't go anywhere. They're just taking that money and funding their agendas. As you can see, of course, we're going into their path. This AI, this automation. I went into the satellites. That's what they're building up there. That's what Space Force is about. Those satellites are going to be able to read your brain waves, be able to understand what you're thinking before you say it. So, guys, we definitely have to wake up our family members, get them understanding how the world really works, and of course, the finances, the money come with it, because you don't fall for the same scams. But, guys, like I said, don't forget about the books, btcteacher.com, also on Amazon. The books are on Amazon also. If you're new to crypto, don't forget about Coinbase, BitChute, Binance. As we know, when we have all this market manipulation, Coinbase and Binance all of a sudden seems to go down. It's the same routine, guys. It's all rigged. We just have to stay in the game, stay mentally into the game. Now, also the stocks, we have the banks. Never get a bet against the banks. This is why you never bet against the banks. They always win. The house always wins. We have the Cobalt, chip stocks, gaming, and then also everybody's sitting at home. Don't forget about those stocks, these Zoom stocks. Also, they're still selling the C word, so don't forget about the biotech stocks. And then, of course, everybody's out of work, anxiety, depression. They do what? Drink and smoke weed. And y'all have a wonderful day.